Hello, my name is Allison Tiemann, and I'm a comics writer and artist. I'm the founder of Honey Badger Brigade, a group of mostly women who put on podcasts about geek culture and marginalized gender issues. On April 17, 2015, I was ejected by security from the Calgary Comics and Entertainment Expo. I was not just ejected, but banned for life from all of the events the organizers put on across Canada. I was ejected for allegedly harassing panelists at a panel where they brought up the topic of men's rights, and I politely requested to speak to that topic and was granted permission. Since myself and my friend Sage Gerard had recorded the panel and subsequently uploaded it to the internet, the story then became that we had been evicted for registering under false pretenses, despite the fact that Honey Badger Brigade was printed on the convention program book, on our badges, on the placard at our booth, and was also listed on the convention website. We have waited to see if Kelly Dowd, president of the Calgary Comics and Entertainment Expo and manager of Red Skull Comics, would initiate contact with us to resolve this issue. When he didn't, we initiated contact with Mr. Dowd. So far, we have had no response. As of now, it looks like Mr. Dowd intends to ignore this incident and the precedent it sets. I spoke out against being seen as a victim because I am a woman and I was banned. Why is a woman rejecting victimhood so threatening? Because you need a damsel to have a villain, and having a villain justifies every act of war, every act of lynching, genocide, marginalization, bigotry, and hatred throughout history. This is the narrative that builds empires and controls populations and justifies persecution. This is the narrative that silences inconvenient truths. This is the narrative that is silencing the men and women of Gamergate, and this is the narrative that is silencing my friends. I will not stand for that. I've read comments by con organizers that they are waiting for one convention to stand and speak out against this, against how I was treated. If you're a con organizer who's been watching this event unfold, and you want to speak out but are afraid, let me ask you this. What are the consequences you'll face by taking a stand against this behavior? Maybe some pro-censorship celebrity guests will give your con a pass. Maybe you'll have a lower attendance. Maybe you'll be laughed at. These consequences are trivial. And if they can make you turn a blind eye based on these trivial consequences, they can make you do anything they want. And they will. Step by step, they will force you to abdicate all of your humanity out of fear. If you have ever wondered how atrocities happen, this is how. Step by step. Every authoritarian regime has gone after the artists, the dreamers, the writers, the journalists, the archivists, the inventors, and the visionaries first, because we are the voice of humanity. And it all starts with the same narrative. We are the villains, the reprobates, the destroyers of proper society, and the haters of women. When I put up the Gamergate flag at my booth, I was afraid. I didn't know it would play out this badly, but I knew I was making a statement that could get me mocked and ridiculed. I did it anyway, because I refused to be owned by fear. I faced the cost, and I'm still here. Even if the world spits on you, if you stand up for what you believe in, you will also still be here. And you will be more yourself than you have ever been. So if you're a con organizer or attendee who's appalled that this happened, take a stand publicly. If you're a part of Gamergate, don't forget. Don't forget that this happened. You are fighting for truth, transparency, and an end to convenient narratives in journalism. You're fighting for all of us. And if you're a woman listening to this, you have a choice to make. The powers that be say that you're a victim of the geeks, the gamers, the artists, the fan. They say you are a victim of geek and gamer culture. I say you are the heroes. As women, we are the ones who can save our culture from being censored and silenced. And those doing the censoring and silencing know that. It's time to stand up and be counted. Reject being a victim, and reject having your so-called victimhood be used to justify abusing and silencing others. They can marginalize one woman's voices, they can marginalize 10 women's voices, but how many women can they throw under the bus before they destroy their own narrative? So here's your choice. Do you want to live a small life on your knees, thinking yourself a victim? Or do you want to stand up as a woman and shake this system right down to its foundation?
The Honey Badger Brigade is now seeking legal advice to hold the Calgary Expo staff accountable for their acts of abuse and discrimination against us. We have made attempts in the past week to defuse the situation by trying to contact Mr. Kelly Dowd, president of CalEx, and we have received no response. On April 17, 2015, the Honey Badger Brigade was forcibly evicted and our booth ordered removed despite our operating well within the rules of the Expo and its policies of conduct. We were not given a chance to dispute the alleged complaints. The organization violated its own stated policy in the process and has released conflicting claims regarding its reasons for our removal. These claims indicate that we were removed due to our men's rights activism and unpopular view of modern feminism. Therefore, it is our belief that the actions taken by the Calgary Expo staff were of a political nature and contravene the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, in particular, freedom of conscience, freedom of thought, and freedom of association. If so, this eviction is based on discrimination, an act that has defamed and abused us. While we would prefer to settle this outside of a courtroom, we are prepared to take every legal action needed to ensure that ourselves and other future exhibitors will be treated equally and without such a denial of their fundamental human and charter rights.